Today, you will know the team that is most favoured to win the whole tournament of the World Cup, the superstar that won't perform and you won't guess who it is, the forgotten X Factor player, and the key player who will cost them their team. And I'm not using football analysis. This is purely me using astrology to see who has the best and most advantages in this tournament. So the way I calculated this was by looking at football players' birth charts. And because I didn't know their accurate time of birth, I used their moon chart and the chart of the transit they were running. And from there, I looked at their competitive energy, the ability to overcome opposition, and their career performance window. And that is by looking at the 10th house, the 3rd house, and the 6th house. These were the main 3 planets or houses that I used and determined whether they were going to have a good tournament or not. And obviously the dignity of the planetary time period that they're running, is it debilitated, etc. And then for the 3 main contenders, I looked at the manager's chart, the goalkeeper's chart, and the best player in each position. So obviously their star player, usually a forward, then their midfielders, and their defenders. And the reason why goalkeepers are arguably potentially the most important is just because of how important they are in tournaments with penalties. Now, I writ off 3 teams instantly, and it was because of the way the bracket system worked. Pretty much most of the good teams were on the G to L group. So it was on the right side of the bracket. And from there, I already knew because I looked at the 3 contenders and I saw their charts were really good. So I was like, these are the 3 write-off teams: England, Brazil, and Portugal. Now, in my opinion, England, apart from Kane, doesn't really have a standout player. Brazil, in my opinion, I said, if Neymar isn't fit, they're not going to win it. I looked at Neymar's chart. He might not even be fit for the tournament. It's not looking good for him. He's 100% not going to be fully fit, but I'm not sure if he's even going to play it a full 90. It's that bad. And then Portugal, pretty much same thing. I mean, Ronaldo's already in his enemy year. It was just never going to work. Now, before I go into my 3 contenders, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Thank you. So my first contender was obviously Argentina. They were the previous winners last year, and they still have a very, very good squad and some well-aligned time periods for their key players. The second is España, and obviously they won the Euros last year. They probably have the best player in the world right now, not last year, 2024, and they probably have the best player in the world, which is Lamine. And finally, last World Cup runners-up, France. Now, even on paper, these guys are the favourites, but even astrologically, it lined up. Now, let me first speak about the superstar that won't perform. Now, when I saw this, I wasn't surprised because the way he was ending the season wasn't that good. His PR hasn't been that good. And it was the nail in the coffin when I looked at his chart. I saw there was a lot of weak dignity. Weak dignity means the time period that was running, the ruler wasn't in a good sign. It was in a sign that it's debilitated in. And that was the big dog Mbappe. I saw his chart and I said, yeah, he is not going to have a good tournament. He is going to have a very, very underwhelming tournament. I even gave him a 5 out of 10. It's not going to be good for him. The forgotten X Factor player that potentially may win player of the tournament hasn't been in form this season or the past few seasons. Now, it wasn't his fault. It's mainly down to injuries, but that is Rodri, bro. Now, people are forgetting that this guy won the Ballon d'Or 1 or 2 years ago. This guy is still in his prime. And the thing that I looked at to see, is he going to be at it, is he's now changed time periods where previously, especially when he got injured and pretty much from the past 2 months, which is when it ended, he was in a time period that wasn't really the best. He's now in a Martian time period. Martian is obviously Mars, and it's fighting, aggression, it's competition, and it's sports. So this is why I gave him an 8 out of 10. This is going to be a very, very impactful player. That alone, he's already at 22. So yeah, he's going to be the foundation of Spain, especially in the midfield and even in the defense, because he's very good at intercepting. So I shall start with the winner of last World Cup, and that's obviously Argentina. Messi's going to have a good tournament, especially from a numerology side. He's a one life path. It's a 1 year because it's 2026, and he's going into a 22 personal year, which is obviously the foundations, maybe the foundation where he wins the World Cup. Stay to the end and I'll tell you if it is. What I gave Messi out of 10 in terms of this World Cup is 7.5 out of 10. Now this is me especially leaning more into the numerology side, because if it was straight astrology, I'd probably give him a 7, but yeah. Then Scaloni, the manager, he will have a good tournament. He's going to make the right subs and the right 11 for the most part. He won't make major screw-ups when it comes to, like, if there's a penalties and shit like that. Now, I think Enzo will have quite a good tournament. Like, quite as in, like, 8 out of 10 is very, very good. Remember, this is also compared to their potential. It doesn't mean, like, he's suddenly going to be the best midfielder in the world. He's now going to be able to dribble and stuff. No, but he's going to have a very, very good performance and showing of himself. The same is the case with Emi Martinez. Do not write him off, especially if Argentina get a penalty or whatever, or a penalty against them. I would be confident he's saving most of them in penalties. He's going to be great, as he usually is. This would just be a very, very great showing of him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and gets a Golden Glove. And then we have Julian Alvarez. He is going to have an insane tournament. I'm going to say similar to what Di Maria had last World Cup, Julian Alvarez is going to do the same. Now, there is one caveat, and that is this guy. He is going to be a mess for Argentina's defense. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a red card or gives away a penalty. He will probably be the main culprit. Now, we're going to see if Scaloni benches him, or, for example, maybe gets a red card in the earlier tournament so we don't fuck things up. But yeah, he's not going to have a great showing of himself this World Cup. And then we have the Euro winners, Spain, and we'll get into it. Lamine is going to have a special tournament. I checked to see if he would be back and, like, be in full health. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Like, this will be a special showing. And as I put there, I'm going to rate it 8.5 out of 10 in terms of his showing and display. Now, Luis de la Fuente, 6.5 out of 10. Like, it's nothing crazy, but it's solid. Then, as you know, I spoke about Rodri before, 8.8 out of 10. Then we have Pedri. Now, Pedri, he's not going to have the tournament that I thought he'd have, because I rate this guy insanely. But yeah, 6 out of 10, solid. May show up, may not. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Kubrasi, you're going to like what you see this tournament from him. He's going to step up and, yeah, be just a solid defender. Unai Simon, 8.5/9 out of 10. He's going to be quite good. In penalty situations, very good too. And then Laporte, again, going to be very solid, 7 out of 10. Then Dani Olmo, in my opinion, may be another dark horse for Spain. He's going to pop up in big moments, like he did in the Euros, actually, because I'm pretty sure he's the one that scored the final goal. Now we have France. As I said, this guy is going to have a shit tournament. Deschamps will have a good showing of himself. So potentially the way this looks is he realizes, shit, this guy's not doing good. I need to bench him or make him have less of an influential role on the team. Now we have Dembele. Now Dembele, obviously he won the UCL, but he is going to have a crazy tournament. Especially, I do think he will be fit. At the start of the tournament, probably not, but he's going to do well. And he's in the same time period as he was in the UCL final. So expect him to pop up with important goals in high pressure moments. He, especially if Deschamps does the right thing and gives him the keys of the team, bro, he's going to be scoring important penalties and being an influential player on the team. Cherokee, unfortunately, isn't going to have the best accounting of himself. Now, again, this may just be because he doesn't get a lot of playing time, or he's just not performing as good. Elise, another 6 out of 10. Now, at the start of the tournament, he's going to do very well. I'd probably say a 7, 7.5. But then after the 24th of June, he goes into a different time period, and that's where, it kind of, his magic loses and he ghosts a bit. Menyan, another 8.5. I'm telling you, I looked at his chart, he's going to save a lot of penalties. So beware. And yeah, after I looked at France's team, I concluded these guys aren't going to go that far, especially because Deschamps does have a lot of favoritism inside him. So I think he's going to try and push Mbappe, and that is going to be where the downfall of this team is. I do believe he's going to have a similar campaign to Euro 2022. If you remember that, he was shit in that, and I think he missed a penalty. He was bad. And then obviously their other two main attackers aren't going to do well. And their midfield's quite shit. I mean, their best midfielder is Kante, and Kante is washed. He's old. And so then I had to decide between Argentina and Spain. And this is where this semi-final is so important, because that is where they're most likely going to see each other. Now, then I looked at the birth chart of the 15th of July in Atlanta, because it's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium there. And I cross-referenced that with the best players charts, and that's obviously Messi and Lamine. What I saw is both won't have their best showings. However, Lamine will go crazy after the 70th minute. This is probably where he's going to pop up with a goal or assist and just show out. At the start, he will be quite tame, maybe a 6 out of 10. Nothing too crazy. And then if it goes to extra time, bro, he will have the game of his life. Now, compare this to Messi, 6 out of 10. It's not going to be anything crazy. He does get better, especially after the 70th minute. But again, it's just, he's not going to have the best accounting of himself. And that's where I do lean towards Spain winning this semi-final and beating whoever's in the final, because if you look at the bracket, there's literally just all the shit teams on the other side. As I said, Brazil's not going to do anything. Netherlands ain't, and neither's going to Germany. So yeah, I do conclude 2026 World Cup winners, Spain. And yeah, subscribe if you liked the video. And remember, I'm going to carry on doing football / astrology content. So get tapped in.